that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
Welcome back to the Bottom Line Wrestling Cast, the career of Stone Cold Steve Austin. This week is episode 17, Rocky Sucks. Rocky Sucks. Rocky Sucks.
Rocky Sucks.
Rocky Sucks. Rocky
So fun.
Sucks.
So fun to chant.
And we're covering November through December of 1997. I'm Mike Prue, along with JV. JV, how you doing?
Doing well, man. Doing well. How about those New England Patriots?
Hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. I like it.
I think I called it last week. I forget if I said it on the podcast or not, but that's soft as own D.
Oh, yeah, you did say that.
He ate them up.
Yep, he did. And I thought their weapons were going to show up, but they didn't at all.
No. Keenan Allen had that big play, and that was really it.
They shit. Chargers shit their pants.
Yep.
So we're off to the Chiefs. Good thing the game's. I mean, actually, it would be better if the game was here. If we had that number one seed.
Yeah.
Big snow. So this Sunday we got a big snowstorm coming, Massachusetts.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh well, we'll go to KC, kick some ass, go back to the Super Bowl.
Under a lunar eclipse or something like that.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, and it's supposed to be like the coldest game in Arrowhead Stadium history. But
speaking of lunars, we got a Luna Vachon sighting on this week's episode.
That's right. That's right. We do. Ah! Dude, she was crazy.
She is nuts.
Yeah, I forgot how crazy she was. Remember, she was in the video game. One of the video games.
Was she really?
Yeah, she was one of the first female characters you could actually play in a game, and it was an old. I want to say it was a Sega game. Might have even been the Royal Rumble game on Sega. Yeah, I remember her clearly. Her finisher was she did a moonsault or something off the top rope.
Maybe it was a WrestleMania game on the first PlayStation.
Maybe, but I thought it was a Sega. Sega was still doing its thing in '97.
WrestleMania, the arcade game. What I think it was.
I
think she may have been in that one.
She probably had some whack moves then, because that move was nuts. Could pull out a bell. Right?
Yeah, Doink the Clown would pull out a big horn or whatever.
Yeah, he had the hand. The hand.
The hand. Yeah. Punch the hand. Yeah.
Undertaker had the tombstone. He would just whip it out of the ground. That move
just
was
out whacking people with it.
You could just spam that move. I remember, just blah blah. It wasn't even fair.
Not at all. So we've had some technical difficulties this past week.
Yeah.
Last week's episode, you may have thought I was the wonky talk man, because all my talking was being interrupted by some alien interference, making my voice sound like wah, wah. The wonky talk man. It was the last week with 0-3-16.
Yep.
And now on to this week with The Rock. Some of my favorite shit that happens is during this month from the Attitude Era. I love this month.
Oh, it's great.
November into December. So we'll build the Survivor Series, the Screwjob, and heading to the next pay-per-view, which is In Your House, D-Generation X. So let's just get into it. So we're going to pick up, like I said, from the night after the Screwjob. And this is Raw 233, November 10th, 1997, live from Ottawa. So we got that Canadian crowd to start it off. And hey, since the Screwjob just happened, we can't not talk about how DX is introduced here and how the crowd takes to them.
Mm-hmm.
So the night before, and I said this last week, on the pay-per-view they played the DX entrance music that we all know today. Break it down. So they first started playing that at the pay-per-view to hype up and to promote the In Your House pay-per-view that's coming December 7th. So you have the crowd all excited for Raw. The music quiets down finally. Everyone puts their signs down. They're ready for the first person to come out and cut the promo, because that's already how it is at that point.
Yep.
It's promo time. So this music hits. Music that most people hadn't heard yet, unless they watched the pay-per-view, or maybe they didn't watch it. So a lot of people didn't know the music. So they're like, "What the hell's this? Who's coming out?" And Rick Rude comes out. Crowd's like, "Huh? What?" And Rick Rude comes out, and he gets into the ring. He does this thing, cut the music, and he's trying to get out his line of, all you Ottawa idiots, whatever.
Yeah.
Please shut your mouth and all that.
It was Rick Rude thing.
Right, but the crowd is just going nuts, like throwing stuff into the ring. He has to try to start over numerous times. So there's Rick Rude, and that's a little trivia that you can use on your buddies. Who's the first person to come out to the DX music? Not Shawn Michaels, not Triple H, not China.
Nope.
Rick Rude is the first one to walk out to it. And he's already pissed off from the night before. And now he's in the ring getting shit thrown at him. He's not happy about DX doing the screw job, and he's the one taking the brunt of it. He's walking out first.
Yeah, he's not picking Vince McMahon's side after last night. So
nope. So eventually HBK comes out. He cuts his promo, and he points out that the dinosaur, Vince McMahon, is very, very smart move here on his part to take the night off from commentary. And I'm pretty sure he doesn't go back on the commentary ever again after that. From that point on, he's just backstage, and then he becomes Mr. McMahon.
Yeah, we'll have to
on-screen role.
We'll have to keep an eye out for that. The next, I know you're kind of ahead of me now, so you haven't seen him back though.
No, not yet.
Nice, but we're going to keep an active eye out for that. Yeah, because that could be another good trivia question.
Because Michael Cole is going to be on commentary, like from this point on.
Yep.
Pretty much with JR. So yeah, that would be a good trivia. When was Vince McMahon's last commentary job?
Yeah.
Survivor Series '96. Actually, he wasn't even out there for that, if I recall. No.
I remember him being ringside though.
I think it was just JR and Lawler.
Was it?
Yeah. So, I have to look back and see when he was on commentary before that.
Yep.
So anyway. So that happens, and Sergeant Slaughter's going to come out and tell Shawn Michaels that he has a match, and he's going to have a match against Ken Shamrock. Inyuk over the past couple weeks as being like a main eventer. They knew Hart was on the way out, so they needed somebody else to step up and be in the mix. HBK. So Shamrock's the guy. That's the go-to guy. They have their match coming up. So that's the DX promo. Just wanted to point that out. All right, so I just wanted to get into some of the side notes. JV, you can jump in with whatever side notes you got. But the first one that I wanted to bring up was Butterbean. Butterbean in the crowd, right in the front row. I mean, they show him a couple times in the audience just watching. But, eventually he's going to be involved in something.
Yep.
So that something is Mark Merrow comes out and accuses him, Butterbean, of touching Sable, and Butterbean looks like a goof with shitty-ass Cosby sweater on.
The old, it's even out of date in 97.
Right, it's 97. That would be like a 1990, 91 type sweater. Oh, he's a little back. I mean, it's only 6 years ago, and I have clothes right now from 6 years ago that I still wear, so maybe I'm out of date now, too, with my clothing.
Yeah, when you put it that way, yeah.
Well, something like that really sticks out, pops out as being, that's not cool anymore.
Yeah.
that sweater. So Butterbean is all upset. He's like, "What? She's a pretty girl. I didn't want to do anything with her, He has like this weird voice. I wasn't gonna do anything. I wouldn't touch her. She's a pretty girl.
Weirdo.
Yeah. So that was one of the things that popped out, and of course we know he's gonna be around for a little while at this point, and then he's gonna come back later next year too. The Brawl for All.
Yep.
knock out Bart Gunn.
Yeah, that's right. That's coming up. Bart Gunn.
Yep.
That's funny. The only real side notes I had was some good lines from the DX promo, and then eventually when Ken Shamrock comes out, Shamrock kind of takes some shots at China, which talk about being good for the time, I guess. He's like, man or female, or whatever you want to call yourself, and then he's like, go have a seat where you belong. Sure in hell isn't a kitchen or whatever you are.
Yeah. It's kind of continuing what Bret Hart was doing before.
Yeah, like Canada's loving it. It's like, damn, Canada in the 90s. Whew. It's not that's not the Canada Bernie Sanders promised us.
Well, I mean, United States wasn't much different either.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I agree. But it's just funny. And then another side note I like is Sergeant Slobber actually messes up his promo. So when he's out there and he's saying, the match is going to be for, instead of saying the world, now I'm messing it up. The World Wrestling Federation, the World Wrestling Federation Championship. He's like, the World Federation Championship. It's like, dude,
really?
You botched the main title.
Yeah, and you were champion.
Yeah, that's right. Like, come on.
He's just flustered and nervous out there.
Yeah, and DX just is pouring it on.
Oh, yeah.
They're really dogging him. It's funny.
They nonstop. They're just like week after week with Slaughter.
Yeah, they don't. It's good stuff. They have another right now. At this point, they know it's like, all right, Stone Cold doesn't need to carry the show as much as hard, because now we have DX, and this is kind of where DX just kind of takes off and they get their cult-like following.
Yeah, right. Like just a couple months back on Raw, Austin would be involved in like every 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Just be constant throughout the show. Not that it won't be like that again. It's just at this point they're exploring some different characters. Even, characters like Mark Merrow, Goldust, so they're using them more, and everyone has a storyline, and everybody has some kind of stake, So when there's a match at a pay-per-view, they mean more.
Yep.
So they're jam-packing Raw with just different segments.
Yeah.
Like Goldust, for instance.
Yep.
All right, Goldust, for instance, he dumps. I think it may have been going in that direction. Prior to Pillman's death, is that they were going to split. And from what I've read or what I heard, I forget what at this point, but Marlena was possibly going to have like Stockholm syndrome and fall in love with Pillman after the 30 days, and then turn on Goldust, join Pillman.
That makes sense. I kind of figured I could see it going in that direction, as that being the original
end game
play. Yeah.
So instead, they just made Goldust become the heel, make him more interesting. Because you can't make Marlena heel, because who's she going to go with at this point?
Someone out of nowhere.
Right. So he turns on her, and he becomes this forever unchained Goldust. So, as the FU on his face, they make a point to say it means forever unchained. So people aren't thinking it means fuck you.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah, that's really it for that. So we'll get now to the Austin stuff here. So Stone Cold has a brief little promo. We'll play that for you. So take a listen to that, and then we'll talk about it.
They've united behind him. First off, congratulations, and I guess at Survivor Series, payback was hell for Owen Hart.
I'm not really even concerned about the payback, because what I did was go out there and prove that Stone Cold Steve Austin is back. Whatever. Sat on my couch for 3 months, drinking beer, walked right back in and took my Intercontinental title back. Why? Because I am the toughest SOB in the WWF, and can't nobody stop me.
May not be too politically correct, but Stone Cold, you've always been a marked man. But now that you have the belt, you might as well paint a bullseye on your forehead.
Why don't I paint a bullseye on your ass and just kick you around the damn building?
We are the nation! The nation!
Well, obviously the nation of domination about to grace us with their presence. What's this? It's Rocky Maivia. Rock, you look fantastic at the Survivor Series. not looking too bad right now either. Former Intercontinental champ.
Shut up. I don't mean to rain on your little victory parade, but I know all the fans of the WWF around the world and everyone here tonight felt that when Rocky Maivia was the Intercontinental Champion, I was the best damn Intercontinental Champion there was. Steve Austin, come hell or high water, one way or another, I'm going to be wearing my Intercontinental title. And if you've got enough manhood to you to accept my challenge.
Where do you think the rest of the nation is, Ross?
You people are so ignorant.
Well, they're here.
If you've got enough manhood to accept my challenge, then your bottom line will read, has been, compliments of The Rock. You got your little challenges, you think you're big and tough, you stand up there all jacked up. I got a couple of challenges for you. I challenge you to get you a decent haircut. Since you're a piece of crap, I challenge you to flush yourself down a commode. As far as you or anybody else is concerned, all you got to do is sign a damn piece of paper and I'll beat the hell out of anybody right here in the middle of the ring. So you're damn right, you got your shot. You understand what I'm saying? But you don't suck because these people say you suck. You suck because Stone Cold said so. And that's the bottom line.
Rocky Maivia issuing a challenge to Stone Cold Steve Austin.
All right, so Stone Cold Steve Austin right there is just, it's coming out, and he's like, yeah, I'm the baddest SOB there is. I sat on my couch for 3 months and drank beer, and then I come back and I win the IC title.
Because he's the baddest son of a bitch.
Right. So then this is where we get to the good stuff. We get The Rock come out. The Nation's music hits. You know, Rocky is talking about how he's the best damn champ there ever was, the best damn Intercontinental champ. So he's already starting with that. His run was a babyface run, and it sucked. So
it awful.
It wasn't any good at all. But now this Rock with Austin, this is perfect for The Rock. This is big for him because now he gets to shine with the top babyface, you know, on the mic. And if he can keep up with Austin on the mic, then he's going to become a star himself. And we know that's what ended up happening, but it starts here. So it's awesome to see The Rock become The Rock that is the movie star, the superstar of the world, potential president of the United States.
Yeah, this guy could do it all, folks.
Right. So we start to see it here, right with this promo. And we got the Rocky Sucks chants out loud and clear. And that's why it's the name of our episode this week, is because that's all throughout every segment with The Rock is Rocky sucks.
Yeah,
Rocky
he
sucks.
becomes when he gets the mic, when he's on TV, he's becoming priority. He's getting priority attention from anyone watching right now.
So while it started off as Rocky sucks, it's now becoming Rocky sucks, kind of like in a you suck Angle, Kurt Angle type way, where they're now actually doing it because they like it and it's part of the show, you know. And it gets him to be funny and mad and recognize the crowd. So it's great. And I even think, like, part of the whole Rock persona is, like, I'm not Rocky Maivia, I'm The Rock, is a way of saying, screw you with the Rocky sucks, I'm not Rocky, I'm The Rock.
Yeah.
And then he starts to talk, then he starts to talk in third person,
which is awesome.
Rock. So we get all that coming up throughout this episode. We'll get to all that good shit. You know, The Rock also points out this line wasn't great, but it's, you know, it's Rock in his early days. He's not fully at that point yet with his comebacks, but the one he has here is, you know, the bottom line will read, has been, compliments of The Rock.
That was a good one.
But then I love Austin.
I was gonna say Stone Cold steals the show though at the end. He has the line here of the back and forth. He's like, you don't suck because these people say so. You suck because Stone Cold said so.
And that's the bottom line.
And that, yeah.
But you can see right from there, too, with The Rock, his facial expressions are great. They're perfect. He looks like, who the hell's he to say this about me? He's just great faces. You can see that he's an actor.
Yeah, even when he's not talking, he's involved in that in these scenes with essentially what they are with Stone Cold. So
yeah, you can't keep your eyes off of him or Austin. So it's gonna make for some great segments. We already know it's a classic feud, but it's officially beginning right here. And Stone Cold calls him right out at the beginning. You're all jacked up. You think you're all tough, jacked up there. And so I like that too because the Rock was looking damn good shape too. And Austin's just like, oh, you stand up there all jacked up. Like he's kind of complimenting him, but he's like, hey, don't be all there jacked up and think you're gonna talk to me this way.
Well, you can tell. Like we've been watching it for now. We've been rewatching all this stuff. You can kind of see how his physique is changing. Like not only is he putting in the work on screen, he's putting in a lot of work. Obviously, behind the scenes, especially in the gym.
For sure.
And that.
And he even got the tat. He got his tattoo also.
Yeah.
He got his Brahma Bull tattoo. At some point in the past year. I didn't notice when. But it's there prominent now.
They make sure to get the camera on it more.
But the underrated line here is right after he says, oh, you stand up there all jacked up. You challenge me. I challenge you to get a decent haircut.
Yeah, with his perm.
Yeah.
What do you call those? Jerry curls? I don't even know what you call them.
I guess. I don't know.
It's funny though.
Jerry curls. Yeah, so that's really it for Austin in that episode of Raw. Kind of just setting the stage that Rocky Maivia wants a shot at the title. Austin gave him the shot, but made him understand Rocky sucks, not because they say so, because Stone Cold says so. I love that. That was awesome. So on to Raw 234, which is November 17th, 1997. And for whatever reason, I didn't take a note on where the hell it was. So
I was wondering that. Like, there's no note here.
So anyway, it's November 17th. It's actually the next night. So it's not really the 17th. So they're probably not far from Canada.
Yeah.
If I had to guess, they're probably in Detroit, Michigan. Something like that.
I'm going to say Buffalo.
Buffalo, oh, it could be that too.
But
anyway.
I was on the other side, right? Yeah. I was not like near Montreal.
True.
So yeah, you're probably right. It's probably Michigan. Somewhere in Michigan, Detroit.
Yeah. All right, so let's get into it then. At the end of the last Raw, there was a little skirmish with Shamrock, HBK. There was a match between Triple H and Shamrock. And then HBK got involved in this match. And Slaughter came out to help out Shamrock. And then Sarge became the ref. And Shamrock pinned HBK, who was not in the match at all. And gave him the 1-2-3 victory. To pinning somebody that wasn't in the match.
And they all celebrate like it's a big deal. It's ridiculous.
Like he won.
Yeah.
Like, no, he wasn't even in the match. It's not a match.
They're like, and this proves that Shamrock can beat HBK. It's like, no, it doesn't.
Right. Because Sergeant Slaughter came in and helped, and then covered him for a pin. He's not even a ref.
Could sneak up on him, and, it wasn't clean at all.
Yeah, the note I put was dumb.
Dumb, yeah. You summed it up in one, could sum it up in one word. Yeah, dumb.
Really dumb. All right, so now we're back to more Austin, though, because Austin's going to kick off the show this week. So he has a little brief promo. It's going to lead to more Nation and The Rock activity here. So take a listen to this clip, and we'll talk about it on the other side.
Darn well wants to, basically.
You can turn the damn music off. I'm already in the ring.
I don't think he's in a very good mood.
Vince McMahon always says anything can happen in the World Wrestling Federation. And you got that right.
Wait a minute. Uh-oh.
If anybody wants to see Rocky Maivia get his ass whipped, give me a hell yeah. That's about what I thought.
I've never... What are you going to do about
Rocky,
that?
you
I
make
ain't
your
doing
little
nothing.
challenges like you're something special. I know you got your little ass back there watching the TV monitor. So if you really think you're something, if you think you're something special and that you can actually come in here and beat the hell out of Stone Cold Steve Austin, then why don't you bring your sorry ass out right now and bring whoever you want with you? Because I got something for you.
Well, obviously Stone Cold.
Go ahead and play some music so they got something to come out to. Come on, Rock. You do suck and you know it. Oh, hell yeah.
Uh-oh. Well, I believe business is going to pick up here. Ask and ye shall receive. That's Austin 316. Austin has absolutely no fear. He looks like he's saying, don't wait for December 7th. You want this title belt? Come on and get it. Rock.
All right, so starts off here. The Rattlesnake is coming out, starting the show. They make it clear that last week's segment is official. There is a match now. December 7th, Austin defends the IC title versus The Rock at In Your House, D-Generation X. So what we have now here, as you just listened, is a very brief one here. Stone Cold comes out. He's starting to use that line, give me a hell yeah. Who wants to see Rocky Maivia get his ass kicked? Give me a hell yeah. One little funny quote that he had, though, when he was in the ring, music's playing. He's just walking around. He walks outside the ring, gets back in the ring. There's music still playing. He's turned the damn music off. I'm in the ring already.
He actually goes after the production crew with the music too. So
yeah. He's like, what the hell are you doing? I'm trying to talk here. Shut that shit off.
Yeah. And then when he's trying to call The Rock out, he's like, bring your sorry ass out here. Go ahead, play some music for him to come out.
Right. He's like, yeah, play some music so he can come out too.
He's telling them when to stop the music, when to start the music.
Play music. So the Nation's music hits, and that's where we cut off the promo. So talk about what happened after that, though. So Nation came out, and The Rock immediately turns around. He goes backstage. So it's just Farouk, Kama, and D'Lo goes in the ring. He gets stunned, which is going to be a common theme going forward, is just D'Lo getting stunned all the time.
Yeah, he's the whipping boy. He gets really good at selling it, though.
Yeah, I think he takes the best stunner at this time.
Yeah.
Because he's just taking it all the time. So D'Lo goes in, he gets stunned. Rock runs back down, slides in. Freaking awesome slide.
Yeah, he's always been good at that slide, though.
Yeah.
Sliding into the ring, he's like a natural at it.
Right, just see how athletic he is. He slides in, he grabs the IC title right from the ground where Austin had left it to give the stunner. He raises it like he's the IC. My favorite part, though, is just the look on Austin's face. Like, he's just smirking about it, like
well played. Yeah,
yep.
Well played, bro.
And then he just gives the double birds that they cut off. You can't actually see the fingers, but he's doing it.
Yeah.
He's not waving high.
Yeah, he's definitely not. He's not telling him he's number one.
Yeah. And Austin will proceed to go to JR, which he's going to do very often, is to take JR's headset off and just talk real briefly. So he just makes it clear that he's going to get his belt back, and that belt's not going anywhere. He's going to have it back. So I like it because it just makes it more interesting for Rock to do that, to have the title in his possession. Because now it's like Austin's chasing his title as if he's the challenger still. Yeah. And that's how you want your babyface to be, is trying to go up against all odds. And he's going up against the entire nation, and he needs to get his belt back still.
Yeah, are you really the champ without the belt? You
right.
need the belt.
Yep. So The Rock gets to pretend to be the champ. It's just awesome.
Yeah, yeah. And it's almost like he is the champ because...
Right. And that's another great part about the writing of this, is that they want to build up The Rock to be better, and he doesn't even have to win the title. You could just have him steal the title, and that makes him just as important as if he was the champ.
Yeah, that's one of the better... It's one of the better angles they've ever come up with.
And they don't do it again because I think it just stands out as being, you can't do that again. The Rock did that with Austin.
Yeah, that's what happens. People start doing that. It's tough to come up with new ideas.
Right.
But this was a great idea.
Definitely. Because, like I said, it's building up a new superstar. And it's just a way also that Austin can't lose his title, get pinned for it. The IC title. This guy that's on the hot path to becoming the world champ eventually, and everyone knows it.
Yeah.
You can't have him lose the IC title. You have to have someone steal it from him, basically.
Yep.
So, all great shit all around. Love it. So, now we'll get to a Dude Love match. And the only reason why we're going to talk about Dude Love match because The Rock's involved. And this is an episode of Rocky Sucks. And this is all around the Austin angle here. So, the match is at 1 hour, 18 minutes, 30 seconds. Now, this is great. The Rock is already wearing the IC title. He's just wearing it like it's his, proud with it. And another thing, that I didn't mention just seconds ago is that the IC title is now important. Because if they're fighting over it, basically, it's something that's really sought after.
Yeah, Stone Cold's involved. Stone Cold is the man in wrestling right now.
Right.
And he's in the IC title picture, and whatever he's in just automatically becomes the most important title from a viewer perspective. Maybe not in the rankings, obviously, of WWE, but from a viewing perspective, as a spectator, it seems like the most important belt because Stone Cold's involved.
For sure. Definitely. All right, so The Rock's going to get into the ring. He's going to have that IC title with him, and he's going to cut a little promo that we want to play for you, just about a minute long, so take a listen.
He stole it. Well, go ahead and spit it out.
Shut up.
Well, the people are still chanting Rocky Sucks.
Quit it. Let's get two things perfectly clear right here, right now. That this match I'm about to have is a non-title match.
Oh, give me a break. You're not even the champion.
And The Rock is a lot of things, but a thief isn't one of them. Because you see, when The Rock was Intercontinental Champion, all of you people made it perfectly clear that I was the best damn Intercontinental Champion there was.
You got an identity crisis? Who's the Rock? He's talking about himself, right? Why
I'm
don't
a
he just say
world-class
IC?
athlete, a highly intelligent man, and I'm just better than the rest. That's all.
Well, Stone Cold Steve Austin has not left the arena, Rock.
You people wanted The Rock. Well, The Rock has answered your call. Thank you very much.
There he goes again.
All right, so there you have it. The Rock. What's awesome about this is it, and I have my own theory that I'll get into a little bit more about this in a little bit, but The Rock comes out and he says, this is going to be a non-title match. Which is awesome. It's
it is.
I'm the IC champ. Oh, this is a non-title match, of course. Yeah. It's no shit, it's a non-title match. You're not the champ. But, it's creating that heat.
Yeah, yep.
The crowd's like, screw you. You're not the champ.
We're not stupid.
No.
You're not the champ.
And it's such a pompous thing, too.
Yeah.
The non-title match.
But even addressing it almost makes you just as pompous.
Right. and it's almost and what we're going to see with this, the next thing we're going to say here is that this is the first time that he talks in third person. Or he's saying he's the Rock. Of course, that makes you pompous, too. So he's added that element to his character. And now on top of it, he's claiming that, he's the IC champ. This is a non-title match. It's like he's delusional.
Yeah, he's full of himself.
Right.
He's in his own world.
You might actually believe he's the IC champ.
Yep.
Just because he has it. He's not even thinking that, I stole it. He's just I have it. I'm the champ.
Yeah, he's the world-class athlete, better than the rest.
Yeah. So, during the match, during that promo, Jim Cornette, you heard it there. He just, butt in, too. He's like, I think you may have an identity crisis. He's referring to himself in third person.
Yep.
He keeps doing it, so. I heard that was an idea from Jim Ross to speak in the third person.
Really?
And, yeah, and I guess Jim Ross was talking talking to him about how Deion Sanders did that. So he suggested Rocky to try that.
Yep. Yeah, it worked
Deion
for him.
Sanders this, right. So, hey, maybe that's true. Maybe that's what happened. All right, so the match begins. You don't have anything really special in this match. Right? They're just kind of buying time, I thought, for Austin to run in. That's all I was waiting for. It's like, all right, when's Austin coming to get his belt back?
Yep.
When's he coming? So they make a point to say, oh, Austin has not left the arena and he can strike at any time. Just keep that audience listening.
There's the bait. There's the bait.
Maybe they're thinking, this match kind of sucks. Let's just throw out that Austin could come down at any time. Just to remind them.
Like, shit, people are tuning out. Say something about Austin.
Right.
What's going on in Nitro right now?
Speaking of tuning in, we got Dude Love tuning up like HBK. And he gives like the shittiest kick.
Yeah, it's awful.
But he does give this awesome double arm DDT. That's like his go-to move.
Yeah, he's good.
I think it was even his finisher at one point.
Yeah, it was. He's used it as a finisher at some point.
Yeah. So, Dude Love has the match in hand at this point after the double arm DDT. Nation's going to come down and interfere. That becomes a DQ. Then Austin's finally going to run out. Rock runs off with the IC title. Dale's with it again. And Austin and Dude Love, they fight off the Nation. And D-Lo takes another stunner, of course. So we got D-Lo taking a stunner back-to-back weeks, and it's not going to stop there. All right, so that concludes the Austin information from that night. So we got some side notes. We got the why Bret Hart screwed Bret Hart. And that promo. That was a really good interview. So
yeah, no more free shots, Bret.
Yeah.
I like how he reiterates it there in that, which I'm pretty sure he's referring to the black eye, right?
Yeah.
Right.
The black eye. Because the black eye's visible too.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
And you could tell he's definitely pissed about that.
Yeah. Punch in the face.
He's like, my son had to see it.
Yeah.
I get it from his perspective, you know.
And I also get when he says Bret doesn't respect everyone that helped him make him who he is. Like, you didn't become Bret Hart the superstar because of just you.
Yeah, no kidding.
You were given his opportunities by me.
Yep.
Vince McMahon. So, and that's what happens, though, with some people. They forget who gave them opportunities, and they get a little too high in their britches. You know?
Yeah, I can see from both of their perspectives why there was
definitely
a disagreement. Like, they each have their... It's tough to say who's right and who's wrong, but, you know, fact of the matter is it's a business, and Vince is the boss.
Right.
It's his company. You kind of do what the boss tells you. Once you lose sight
and
of
you
that, you have those problems.
And you didn't want to drop your fake belt to Shawn Michaels. Jeez. Because everybody thought it was real in 1997.
Yeah, really. Sure.
Yeah. So that's why Bret Why, and I would definitely check that out. It's a good interview. If you haven't listened to it in a while, you know, it's good to listen to something years later because then it's a different perspective.
Yep.
I definitely felt a little different about it when I listened to Vince McMahon's side. And also, it's, from straight at the time. It's not after 20 years of people
dissecting that.
Right, dissecting that. Their commentary is just straight up what he said just a week later.
Yep.
So, probably more legit than anything. All right, we got DX. DX comes out, and it's more Slaughter stuff to tell Slaughter to get his fat ass out there. They ran Bret out of town again, and he's going to run his friends out of town. His friend now is Shamrock. The one thing that stood out here is another Cornette line. Cornette's on commentary at this point, sharing duties with Lawler, kind of like doing half the show. Split. So Cornette says, who do you think's bigger, Triple H's nose or Sun Tzu's chin?
That's a good one. Zynga.
Yeah. And then it just ends with DX kicking the shit out of Slaughter. You give a nice pedigree. He takes an awesome pedigree, too. I was impressed by Slaughter taking that bump.
Yeah, and he's not in the best shape at this time either. So
he can take that move pretty well. And then they put an X on him with toilet paper.
Yep. But
So,
the only
that
side
was
note
that.
I got is the New Age Outlaws. They come out on this episode mocking Los Barricas, and they really come out mocking them.
Oh, yeah.
All gangsted out. Like, ASA! the abuse of stereotypes in WWF this time is gold. Gold. You have to really laugh at it.
Right.
Otherwise, you're a racist.
Right.
That's how I look at it.
You can't find the humor.
Yeah, like, man, they attack everybody.
Right.
It's awesome.
Yeah, that's the way it should attack everybody.
But that's really all I got. I saw that, and I was like, man, that's gold.
Yeah. I had another Butterbean sighting.
Yep.
Butterbean might have the biggest pair of Zubaz I've ever seen, according to Jim Cornette.
So
it's another early 90s clothing choice.
Yeah.
Like I said, he's still got his wardrobe from the last 6 years. And he's still rocking his Zubaz and his Cosby sweater.
Yeah, like catch up, Cartman. Like, jeez.
Cartman? He does look like Cartman. And this is right around the time where South Park is becoming big.
Yeah.
Late 97.
Another show that just attacks stereotypes. One of my favorite shows. Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely in my top 10.
Yep.
If they're not right now, I'll fit them in just to make that sound legit. But,
I had a Cartman shirt at that time, 97. I forget what it was, though.
no, you did. It said beefcake.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, beefcake shirt.
I remember
yeah.
you had the beefcake shirt.
Beefcake!
Yeah.
Beefcake! All right, so that's all I had left from the side notes.
Yeah, on to Raw 235. On that note.
Yeah, Raw 235, which is November 24th, 1997. This is from Fayetteville, North Carolina. So this is the episode right before Thanksgiving. And that's going to come into play in a little while in our commentary here of Raw 235 when we get to Austin, because he's going to take advantage of the holiday.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he does.
All right, so we got an opening DX promo. They're opening the show just as often as Austin was. Austin's kind of like the second half of the show now.
Yeah, yep.
And DX is really kicking things off every week. And what we have here is Harvey Whippleman coming out. And he's coming out to Ravishing Rick Rude's music. Dressed like him, he's wearing the suit, he's got the beard, he's got the briefcase.
He sounds like him. This guy does a hell of a Rick Rude impersonation. This guy's nailing it right now.
Yeah. But the thing I want to get into before I talk about all of Rick Rude stuff is that the Rick Rude theme, the music, on the network, during his matches, if you would go to like SummerSlam 88 and watch his match, against whoever it was, or you go to any one of his matches on the network, you're going to hear this dubbed-in version, shitty-ass version of the Rick Rude, I guess what you'd call it, like Playboy-type music.
Yeah.
And
porn star
it's
music.
just, and it's generic. It's not the classic original one, because they don't have the rights to it, apparently. But here, when Harvey Whippleman comes out, they're playing what they played originally on the real broadcast from November 24th, 1997. That's classic, the original Rick Rude music. So somewhere, or somehow, it slipped through the cracks of the WWE Network censors. And most likely, what they did was they knew what shows Rude was on, and they went to those shows, and then they edited the music for all those times that Rick Rude came out onto the show. Rick Rude, physically Rick Rude, not Handsome Harvey as Rick Rude. So because Rick Rude probably not listed in being on that show, they didn't check that show out, and they didn't edit it. So it's there.
And
that's what happened.
I really got to agree with you when you mentioned that to me before the show when we were kind of discussing everything. You sold me, man.
Yeah,
I think that's why.
That's not conspiracy. That's just
the bottom line.
I mean, that's the only explanation of why they didn't censor is that they didn't know it was there because Rick Rude is not on this episode.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that said now, let's talk about Harvey Whippleman first off. So you have Harvey Whippleman. He's coming out. He cuts the line. He's like, cut the music. And he's even got it down pat. Sounds like him, like you said. He even does the North Carolina Nobodies. And then he announces DX to come out. And then DX just kicks the shit out of Harvey Whippleman. Feels so bad. He falls outside the ring, and he's like holding his head like, ah. And I was like, oh, man, poor guy. Like, they keep doing this to people.
Yeah,
they think they're in. Well, actually, we didn't get to
the next one yet, but we're getting into it. So
yeah. So they had that happen, and for those of you that don't know, Rick Rude is gone at this point. He had been with them all the way up until last week on the November 17th episode, but now he's gone. What happened actually on last Monday was that Rick Rude wasn't just on Raw with DX. He was also on Nitro with Eric Bischoff in the NWO. He was also on ECW that Monday night, or on Tuesday morning, because it's probably on at like 3 in the morning. But Rick Rude was on those 3 promotions all within one day, or all within the week. So,
the hottest working man in wrestling.
Yeah. So on last week's Raw, he has a full beard. On Nitro, he had mustache. And it goes back to Rick Rude being pissed off about the screw job. So he's pissed off about it. He wants to leave. He's going to do his next couple of shows for the WWF. He's going to be recording the live one. Then he's going to do the Tuesday taping for the 17th. Well, and during that time, right after that, I guess on the off and wants to go back to WC because Rick Rude wasn't working on a contract. He was just working on like a night-to-night basis deal, where he just got paid each night. So he was free to make that deal. And apparently he told Eric Bischoff that, hey, on next week's Raw, I'm going to be on that episode. So Eric Bischoff thought it would be great to have Rick Rude be on live on Nitro the same night that he's going to be on Raw. And I'll make WWF look like idiots. So, WWF obviously didn't like that, so that's why on this week's episode they pull out Harvey Whippleman to do his little Rick Rude impersonation.
Handsome Harvey.
As Handsome Harvey. Yeah, I thought that was just great. That's the Monday Night Wars right there. I mean, that's a big little battle right there.
That's how intense it was. Like,
yeah,
that right there.
For sure. So you have Shawn Michaels now in this promo. He's going to act like he's sad. He's like, oh, WWF deserves better. Brett deserves better. We just need to settle this once and for all. Me and Bret Hart, we work something out. He's going to be here tonight, and we're either going to shake hands or we're going to hit each other. But we'll figure it out tonight. So jump to later in the night. JV, you want to take it away with this?
Well, mini Bret Hart?
Yeah, mini Bret Hart.
Swinging under HBK's arms, and they slap a WCW sticker on his ass. That shit's crazy. He puts the poor little guy in a sharpshooter.
Yep.
And he could barely wrap his legs. It's just...
I know.
I remember when it happened, losing it. Hilarious. My brother and I still talk about mini Bret Hart. It's like, hey, remember Mini Bret Hart? Hell yeah, he had the mask on, like this weird mask. It's fucking so good.
And he walks out with the what we called it, the hey, look at me guy.
Yeah,
hey,
the Fonz. Hey,
yeah,
I'm Bret Hart. Look at me. Hey, I'm Mini Bret Hart. Look at me. I'm famous now.
And the hair's just like all bouncing all over the place.
Yeah, he does a great job. That guy.
I don't know who it was. I don't know, it was like Max Mini.
Probably Max Mini or Mini Vader.
Yeah. Mini Mankind.
Yeah, many persona they have. They play multiple roles. They're very diverse performers.
Many minis.
Yeah.
All right, so that leads to Neidhart, though, coming out after they do all that with Mini Brett. So Neidhart comes out pissed off, and HBK is going to talk him into joining DX. And Anvil decides, you know what? I was getting screwed all those years in the Hart Foundation. And he's not here now. He ran away. And So yeah, screw it. I'll go to DX. So he comes out. He's ringside with them throughout the match. The match ends. They go in. They're celebrating with each other. He's holding up Triple H and HBK's arms, and then here comes China. Nut shot.
Yep.
Hey, I thought it was a good replacement, though. And it made sense, though, too, because you'd be thinking, well, yeah, maybe they're just trying to replace Rick Rude with another, like, strongman type guy. So the crowd might be buying into it like that. Like, all right, I can see why you'd be pissed off at Bret. I can see why they want another guy because they just lost Rude. But yeah.
I'm glad they did it. That character was lame. Yeah, like Jim Neidhart. I never cared for him as a performer. Yeah, baby. Stroke on my goatee. Like I didn't do it for me.
No.
He didn't even have glasses.
I love the Hot Foundation.
Yeah.
Well, he did have glasses.
Oh, he did. He didn't give his away though, did he?
No, because he had like Oakley's or something.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Like he just had his own glasses.
He had Folkleys.
These are my glasses.
Cumberland Farm specials.
But he would have like the band around it too, like the pink strap.
Yeah.
So like you could take it down and put it around his neck. I can picture him wearing a bunch of Zubaz for sure. With that said, rest in peace, Anvil.
Yeah, rest in peace. Rest in peace.
All right, so we got some more side notes right before we get to Austin. We got some good Austin rock stuff on this episode. Ooh, can't wait. All right, so let's clear out these side notes before we get into that. We got Badass, Billy Gunn, and Road Dogg. Not the New Age Outlaws just yet, but they're going to win the tag team titles from Legion of Doom. Just like they had said they were on the path to winning the titles, and they did it just really like a month later. As I said earlier in our opening, we were talking about a lunar eclipse. Well, we got a Luna Vachon running around here today, and on this episode, she's dressed as a nurse for Goldust, who's sitting in a chair.
Yeah, this is crazy television.
Yeah. So Vader, whack Goldust, but then his nurse, who we don't know anything about yet, she's just all covered up. She has rubbing alcohol, and she just throws it in the eyes of Vader, and then rips her clothes off, and then it's Luna Vachon, who we hadn't seen around since Bam Bam Bigelow.
I want to say Bam Bam Bigelow. I don't think she's popped up since at all.
Yeah. No, I think she's gone 95, 96.
Yep. And
all of 97 until this point. So she's back, and she's still a crazy bitch.
Yeah, just a little.
Now we also got a Sergeant Slaughter promo where he like becomes Sergeant Slaughter again with he puts his hat on and it's all like he's like full Sergeant Slaughter mode. And I listened to it and he brought me in because it was like an old school 80s promo. I was like, yeah, he's gonna kick his ass. But it's like
maggot.
Yeah.
He does say that well.
Yeah.
I liked Sergeant Slaughter. He was cool.
I did too.
And he was a G.I. Joe. Like, dude.
Right.
Come on.
Hey, he was the biggest wrestling star before wrestling stars were big.
Yeah, he was key in the G.I. Joe movie. This guy, Sarge was a big deal.
And obviously Hogan was big in the mid-'80s too, but then there was Sergeant Slaughter, who also made it into the entertainment world too.
Yeah, Hulk Hogan was not a G.I. Joe.
No.
He's a real American. He's just a real American.
And Thunder Lips.
Thunder Lips, yeah.
So he's going to have a match with Triple H, which, great Triple H match. Sergeant Slaughter. It's going to be a boot camp match at D-Generation. Jeff Jarrett's about to have his first match, and he's not going to do it. He's going to say, nah, I'm not going to wrestle Chains. What's funny, though, it wasn't actually Chains that he was supposed to have a match with. He was supposed to have a match with Crush, but he kept saying Chains. And to an extent, that kind of works because of what they're doing here. They made it sound like he was making a mistake, but it could have been written that way. It could have been Jeff Jarrett is so far above this level that he doesn't even know who he's talking about.
Right.
Like Chains, Crush, what's the difference? Doesn't matter. They suck.
They're irrelevant. They're relevant here.
I do have to say, just a little side note to side notes here. If check out this week's SmackDown, girl from the Riot Squad. One of the blondes. Who the hell's the blonde on SmackDown?
Alexa Bliss?
No.
I don't really know who's on which show now. Carmella? No, she's not a blonde anymore.
No, she's in the group of like.
Oh, Liv Morgan? She's
like in like lingerie right now, trying to seduce one of the Usos.
No kidding. Damn.
In a hotel room.
I think it's Liv Morgan, right? Is
yeah.
that her name?
Yeah, it's Liv Morgan. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually caught some of that. Yeah, actually, I am gonna check that out. TiVo.
Yeah. All right, so sorry about that. That just popped up on the TV behind me, and I was like, "Oh shit, lost my train of thought." All right, back to Stone Cold. And there is a couple side notes about Stone Cold on this episode of Raw. Stone Cold is having dinner. He's having dinner with a group of winners from the Super Soaker contest. That's like as babyface as it gets, right there to show that. I can only imagine what that dinner was like.
Yeah, right. Can't say he was on his phone the whole time because, hey,
no
cell
phones. Right. But then Austin's going to arrive at the arena, and he's going to show up in a Stone Cold truck with the Stone Cold skull on it. Austin 316 on the door. I'm not a truck guy, but that thing was badass. What'd you think of that truck?
It's badass. I'm not a big, it's a nice, cool custom truck.
Yeah.
I'm not a big car person or truck person. It's cool, like, oh yeah, look at that truck, but
right.
It's not
I don't know shit about it.
Not my thing. I like some of the other trucks he ends up coming down to the ring with in future episodes. So the Stone Cold truck, who cares?
Like a monster truck.
Yeah, he comes out, the beer truck. Come on. Now that's a truck. That's a truck I can get behind.
I can't wait for Angle's truck.
Yeah, that one's even better. Yeah.
All right, so Austin arrives at the arena. The Rock is going to cut a promo, and we're going to have some technical difficulties to talk about. So take a listen to this classic, and I mean that. This is a classic promo. Listen to it throughout. It's 5 minutes of excellence. So take a listen, and we'll be talking about it after you hear it.
Around his waist or his shoulder.
Yeah, possession's 9/10 of the law.
All right.
Rocky, just one question.
Shut up. The last thing The Rock needs is some jabroni asking him questions when he's got all the answers. Let's get two things perfectly clear right here, right now, in Fayetteville, North Carolina. And that's Rock is the people's champion. The Rock, your real Intercontinental champion.
Apparently we're having some technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen. Our lights are...
Well, I'll tell you what, one thing's for damn sure, The Rock is the best damn Intercontinental champion there ever was.
Apparently some audio problems as well. We apologize for that.
You know, December 7th, D-Generation X, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Stone Cold Steve Austin wants a knockdown, drag-out, slobber-knocker kind of fight, and that's fine. But this particular match is going to be on my terms. The Rock is calling all the shots on this one. Why? Because I'm the champ, and I got it like that.
Look at this. Who's doing that, Ross?
I have no clue.
Stone Cold Steve Austin. You want to call The Rock a jackass? Well, get up close on this one, cameraman. Bro, all the people know who the real jackass is. Thank you very much.
Again, a new facility here, ladies and gentlemen. Apologize for these technical problems. This building's only been open 5 weeks.
Hey,
The building
go
being
fix
open
that
5 weeks doesn't have
incompetence.
anything to do with that sign back there.
Well, you're right about that. I think the nation's going to go take care of that technical problem.
I think The Rock is sending these guys out to the TV truck.
Well, Rock's not too happy
Look
about
at Chief Stone Cold's in the controls here. Look at it. Just back up. Don't say a word. I'm not
There's your
gonna
answer
do that.
right there.
Rocky
Look who's in the
Maivia
truck.
thinks he's going to be on TV tonight. He's only going to be there if Stone Cold wants him to be there. They actually pay you to do this. A damn kindergarten student could do this. Rocky, I'm calling all the shots. I'm pushing all the buttons. And I'm going to tell you something right now. When you're walking through the airport and your beeper goes off, you look down and it says 316. You know your ass belongs to Stone Cold. You got to ask yourself a question. With me learning all this technology, you got to wonder, is it live or is it Memorex? Give me the damn controls, you piece of trash. See, because I can do this. You put your cap down, wear that. Try to be somebody for once. What's Rocky doing? How you like it? Give me some sounds.
Well, somebody needs to get Austin out of the truck. And,
Well, they did. Austin got himself out of the truck. My God, the rattlesnake's right behind the Rock. Rocky's beeper just went off. And it must say 316. Stone Cold is up with a 10 of whip ass on Rocky Maivia. Austin's got a tear. And all hell is breaking loose. The nation are headed for sanctuary. Austin wants to fight the world.
he's crazy. He's inviting the entire nation back into the ring.
You take your little belt. Take your little belt. Go home. Have yourself a good Thanksgiving. And here's a little bird for you to enjoy right now.
Oh my God. Well, can you apologize, ladies and gentlemen? Sorry for that. Can you imagine what it's going to be like on Sunday, December the 7th? The Intercontinental title on the line. It is going to be a slobber knocker. Austin is ready to fight the world. And this crowd here is ready to stand behind him.
All right, so there's that classic promo. Let's dive into it now. It starts off, you have The Rock carrying Austin's IC title that he stole last week. And he's out there again, still speaking third person, so that's his regular thing now. He even uses one of his lines that becomes a huge line, jabroni.
Yep.
He calls Michael Cole a jabroni. And he also makes the first mention of being a people's champ. So this is just filled with classic Rock. It all started here and last week, talking third person, jabroni, the people's champ. And they start to even have some audio issues, kind of like what our show's been having. So,
Yeah. We'll get it. We'll work on that. We promise.
but their audio issues, there's an angle to it. And hey, maybe we have an angle to ours too. Just haven't revealed it yet.
Yeah, you just have to wait and see.
Yeah, see what happens. So anyway, the match needs to be on The Rock's terms because he's the champ. So got more of that. I'm the champ. This match is on my terms. So while he's talking, just going on and on for a little bit. Then you start to see in the background, this is what you didn't see, is Rocky sucks. His lights are going on and off, and Rock's like, what the hell's going on here? And then The Rock tells Farouk to go check it out. He's like sending the leader to go check it out.
He's the boss now.
Yeah, it's like apparent that The Rock's the champ is the boss.
Yep.
He has the gold. He's in charge. He's like the apparent leader at this point. And the fans know that. The fans recognize that.
Delusional champ, delusional leader.
Right. But it's not official, so that's gonna
Yeah.
that's gonna become a factor to come for Farouk and The Rock. So it's revealed though that Austin is in the control room, messing with the lights, he's messing with the audio, and he points out to the 316, that means Austin has got your ass. And then he makes the very creative line, I thought, is all this footage, is it live or is it Memorex?
That's a great line.
I hadn't heard Memorex Memorex in so long.
Yeah, I was like, damn. So it probably sounds even better now than it did then.
Yeah.
Because it's just,
Right, it's nostalgic now.
Yeah, like, damn.
Oh, shit, Memorex.
That might have been the last time I heard it.
Yeah. And then it's just great because now you know it's like, oh, shit, that was taped. That's old footage. The Rock doesn't realize it yet, but it's too late because Austin is right behind him. And he has the shocked look on his eyes when he looks at the beeper, and it has the 316. And that's great acting by The Rock because you know it didn't say shit on his beeper.
Right.
You know?
Yep.
So he's just doing some great acting there. He has his bug eyes. And that's also the promotional art for our Twitter feed and for our podcast this week is that picture.
Yeah, great pick. Great choice.
The
Great
Rock
choice.
looking at the beeper. Thank you. So Austin attacks. The Nation's going to run back down because they went into the back, which is also a great setup too, is to mess with everything so that he gets The Rock alone because he's going to send his people to the back to check out what's going on. And Austin's already there. And it's kind of like a horror movie. So Austin grabs a chair. He chases them out of the ring. But The Rock still has the IC title. Austin wasn't able to get it back. But he has the line of the night, the line of the week, the Thanksgiving week. He said, take that belt and have a good Thanksgiving. But here's a little bird for you to enjoy right now. Great. Awesome line. Very creative. So, as I was saying before, I thought it was cool, this whole thing. Yeah, The Rock having the belt. Just very creative storytelling. You know, Vince Russo is involved in this for sure. He's just like on his A game at this point.
Yeah, A+ segment.
Yeah.
Like even rewatching it, you'll get goosebumps. Like you got to go back and you got to see the video. I really recommend that. Hearing it's great, but the video just brings it all together.
Yeah, so you want to go back
and you got to watch it to really appreciate it.
Yeah, so if you want to go back and watch that Raw 235 again, November 24th, 1997. This is happening at the 1 hour and 6 minute mark. And so go to WWE Network, 1 hour, 6 minutes. You'll see this classic promo. It's fucking awesome. So that concludes that show. Now we are going to the Go Home show for In Your House, the Generation X. This is Raw 236, December 1st, 1997. What we have here is some side notes, real quickly. We got LOD pissed off. They're coming out. They're going to attack the Road Dogg and Badass because they don't like how they got screwed out of their tag titles, how the New Age Outlaws or become New Age Outlaws just run away after they win the titles. They just book it, jump in a limo or whatever. And now LOD comes out, and they're in their street clothes. They have no face paint on.
Yeah.
And when I wrote about this as a note, it's like, seeing them without their face paint is like seeing Kiss without face paint. Like, it's just not cool anymore. You know?
Yeah.
Not as cool without the face paint.
Like, you killed it. They killed it.
Right. No one wants to see you try to look like you're bad. That's your badass with the face paint.
That's what you get it. It's the face paint and the shoulder pads. That's it.
Right.
You don't need to do anything else. You were blessed with picking great attire.
Man, I'm sure if I was in a bar and they walked in with no face paint and they had their mohawks, I'd be scared shit too.
Yeah, I'd be leaving that bar.
But in the wrestling world, I want the face paint.
Yeah.
But you got Goldust now. He's changing his gimmick every week.
This is
this
most
week
extreme.
So now that he has Luna comes out pulling Goldust on a leash. But I thought his new thing was he's forever unchained. he's on a chain.
Yeah.
He's on a leash. And he also has a ball gag in his mouth. Freaking ball gag. Like, that's straight up from some nasty shit.
Yeah. That's not suitable for television.
Right. Like,
it's in the deep parts of the internet, you know?
Yeah. And now he's the artist formerly known as Goldust.
Yep.
And from this point on, you're going to see different Goldust every week throughout the rest of December. And I'm sure they have it in my side notes. Karate fighters. And you got Tito Santana versus Jerry Lawler. The only reason why I have a side note here is because they go with the obvious Burger King joke for Jerry Lawler, and then Jerry Lawler strikes back with the Taco Bell joke.
Yeah.
Tito Santana. Kind of reminds me of that picture I sent you guys in the chat earlier today. Just actually like a couple hours ago.
Oh, yeah. The Taco
Trump.
Bell meme with Donald Trump and all the food for Clemson. Yeah, that was a good one. There's been a lot of good ones. That's been the meme of the day. Anything Trump related with fast food.
Imagine being Clemson, you win the national championship, you get invited to the White House, and they got fucking Wendy's for you.
I didn't know they had actually. I didn't realize they had dinner with the president. I didn't know that was part of it.
No, I wasn't fully aware of that either.
Like this is the only time I ever knew that they got dinner. So I'm like, oh wow, they used to get dinner. I don't know. Like I thought they just like met him, shook hands, talked about shit, football, took a picture, and they took off. Like it's not like they spend the whole day with the guy.
That's what I would have figured too.
Yeah, but I guess
it does make more sense for them to actually have a big dinner.
Yeah, it does.
I go all that way and not get to eat.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, just spend some taxpayer dollars on a dinner.
Yeah. Hey,
these guys got free scholarships and shit. Yeah, just give them dinner.
It's a public service to entertain the masses with football. So
yeah, that we pay for, and they don't get paid.
That's true.
Poor kids. Everyone's getting billionaires off their backs and bad knees, and aspirations to become these pro, and most of them don't. And
that's what they get.
They don't get an education out of it. It's a total screw job. That's a screw job. The NCAA screw job.
Oh, for sure. And again, all they got out of it was some spicy chicken sandwiches, junior bacon cheeseburgers.
It looked like a variety, right? Like a spread of all different fast food, right?
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Companies.
I wouldn't be disappointed, but hey, that's me.
Well, how about you ever get fast food and let it sit on your counter for 20 minutes and then eat it?
Yeah.
All right.
No, but like I've eaten it the next day and it's
you know
good.
What I mean, though?
I've had
food is like,
yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess they could have got them off the lot. I didn't think of that. They got like these cold pickles and shit. Yeah, I wonder if you even asked them how they prefer their burgers. Not everyone likes pickles and onions and.
The spread looked nice though. Like all the burgers were in little boxes.
Yeah.
Like imagine being the Burger King or McDonald's that gets that order.
Yeah.
That. Like fuck, we don't have enough boxes for all this shit.
I made a Big Mac and a 20-piece for the president. Yeah, I'd put that on my resume.
All right, so let's get back to the show here. That was a nice little segue. Anyway, we got a nice video recap. I'm not going to play it for you, but cool to check out. It's at 39-minute mark. It's kind of a recap of what's been going on with Austin and The Rock. All right, we're not going to play that for you because we got an even better one to play for you at the pay-per-view in your house. And so there's that, and then that leads into another match with The Rock. So we're going to talk about that here. It's The Rock versus Vader, and it goes on for a bit, but the match is not the highlight here. And again, The Rock comes out. He says, "This is a non-title match. This is a non-title match." So he pulls that shit again, and then Austin's going to pull out to the arena, and he's going to have his Stone Cold truck, of course. And they're playing some shitty-ass music on the WWE Network. It's just horrible. It kills the segment for me, like, to watch it, because I'm just hearing the shitty music.
That's all I heard, too.
I'm like, yeah, this is supposed to be badass and cool and shit, but this music sucks that they put in.
Yeah.
It's like some knockoff of bad metal. It's like, medicine.
Yeah.
Medicine is what I want. Whoa.
And the truck don't do it for me. I'm like, oh, well, what could he do? A pickup.
Yeah, you don't care about the truck. He's just there. The cool thing is he's drinking beers, he's cracking beers or whatever. I don't even actually think he's drinking it. He's just holding them. And this is prior to his drinking beer on the screen days. He's just pulling them out for the first time. He's got them in his hand.
The early stages of beer abuse.
Yeah.
On Monday Night Raw.
He's got his classic 316 shirt back on. I'd like to point that out because I just got myself a new Austin 316.
Oh, did you?
My wife bought me one for my birthday.
Wow.
So I got my old Stone Cold shirt back.
It's
a little different, though. It
That's
doesn't
an
have
A+ gift, though.
Yeah, for sure. Doesn't have the blue smoke coming out of the eyes like the original did, though. It's just the skull. It's the new WWE version.
You'll have to buy someone's old sweaty one on eBay or something.
Well, yeah, that's what I was looking for. with the because the old one would have had like the lettering would be cracking because it was silkscreen.
Yeah, it's aged
on there, right? So it just cracks off.
Yeah, unless that thing's in like Mylar or something. That thing's
right.
That stuff's probably cracked.
So obviously nobody's watching this match. Everyone's just looking at Austin. Yeah, it's beer. I got beer.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh my God, what a badass drinking beer.
And the real version, like I said, watching this kind of sucks because the shitty music takes away from it, but they're really playing Back in Black by AC/DC. So on the original, that was probably sweet. I tried to find the original online, but I'm just going to get it anywhere.
AC/DC is very strict about their copyright stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true, but I'm sure the Patriots pay a lot of money to use their whole soundtrack every Sunday.
So there's that. Goldust is going to run out, and they have a long-standing feud going on. It's starting at this point. It started really last week. It kicked off, but it's going to go on for a while. Goldust and Vader. And Vader chases Goldust off. He gets counted out. I mean, it's a decent segment. It would have been better if it wasn't the edited version, the dubbed-in version. But definitely cool to see him pull out that truck. And that's going to be a major factor at the match because he's actually going to pull that truck all the way up to the ring. So this is the next encounter.
Yeah.
Which brings us to In Your House, D-Generation X. December 7th, 1997 from Springfield, Massachusetts. Another event I didn't go to as a kid in Massachusetts.
Springfield might have been another country. Might as well have been another country.
Right.
Like, can we go to Springfield? What?
What?
Go where?
Yeah, right.
Did it start with Providence? Because if it didn't, we're not going there.
Right.
I don't blame them. The hell?
No, that's so far away.
Yeah,
I wouldn't go there now.
Yeah, say neither would I. Like, I wouldn't drive myself there.
Yeah, because then you'd have to drive back the same night.
Yeah, all tired and shit. Like, no.
Right. Like, I didn't want to go up to Boston for a late show that ends at like 11 and not get home until like 12:30, 1 o'clock.
Sit in tight seats. Like, elbow wars with people. Oh, the older I get, unless I'm sitting like lower level in great seats, it's not for me.
No.
Sitting way up in the top. All the mouth breathers, your arms are close together. You got to drink your drink with two hands.
Everyone's got their comments too.
Yeah, everyone's got to take a piss. So at one point, so you're going to get up at least 10 times to let someone walk by, and then you got these awkward contact with them.
Yeah, sometimes
do you walk by them? Do you walk by them back first or front first? You don't know how to. Aisles are tight. It sucks.
Yeah, I'm starting to have a different view on what I like for seating. Now, I always like the aisle seats because, you get up, boom, you go to the bathroom, you get your drink, you get food, whatever, and you're back. You sit down. The aisle seat sucks because you got to get up for everybody.
Yeah, I'll take the aisle seat, though.
If you sit in the middle and you don't need to go anywhere, fucking awesome.
Yeah, but I always need to go somewhere. That's what sucks. So aisle seats, like, if I get the aisle seat, score. So I get that extra leg room. You can kick your leg out.
Yeah, that's true.
Give people dirty looks when they're walking up the stairs. Like, what are you doing walking up my stairs? Can't you see my foot's here? Yeah.
You can check out the hot chicks, too.
Yeah. Get a better rotation, 360 peripheral.
Yeah.
Without looking weird and, like, headbutting the guy on the side of you trying to turn around.
Alright, so let's get to this In Your House D-Generation X. This is our main event. And we're going to play an audio clip for you, the pre-match package, which kind of wrap up everything that's been going on for the last month that we've talked about earlier in this episode. But a nice little tight package here. So take a listen to that, and then we'll get into the match.
Rocky Maiavia's rapid rise to glory in the WWF was unparalleled.
Now there's going to be the man right there. That's blue chip right there. Rocky, and the Nov-Dec World's Intercontinental Championship.
This overnight fame went straight to Rocky's head, and The Rock became enamored with his own persona and celebrity status. The Rock fell in love with himself.
And you know, The Rock is a lot of things. You're looking at the real Intercontinental Champion. The Rock is calling all the shots on this one. Why? I'm a world-class athlete, a highly intelligent man, and I'm just better than the rest. I'm going to show you exactly what The Rock is all about. You people wanted The Rock? Well, The Rock has answered your call. Thank you very much.
Stone Cold Steve Austin has always known who he is. Stone Cold doesn't want you to cheer for him. Doesn't care if you cheer for him.
He doesn't give a damn! Austin's an animal! Austin is not afraid of any odds! And up in the condo! Comes Austin! Austin is going directly to jail!
Stone Cold belongs to no nation, no faction, no brotherhood. He cares about one thing, and it's reflected in his creed.
Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass.
Stone Cold has force-fed this doctrine to Rocky and the entire nation with a barrage of stunners.
Rocky Miami Austin, the challenge! It comes a stunner! Stone Cold stunner! He got it! Stone Cold! Stone Cold! Boom! A stunner! Stone Cold Steve Austin! What is he doing here? Austin with a stunner! Stone Cold Steve Austin has just stunnered this giant comma right out of his boots, and we got a hell of a fight on the outside. Austin striking like the rattlesnake, and there's the stunner! Stunner! And there's the stunner! The old Brown got it again, and Austin is raising down.
Steve Austin, come hell or high water, one way or another, I'm going to be wearing my Intercontinental title.
The Rock is stealing the Intercontinental belt. Maivia has Austin's Intercontinental Championship belt. What reception is that, McMahon? They don't like Rocky.
But you don't suck because these people say you suck. You suck because Stone Cold said so. When you walk into the airport and your beeper goes off, you look down and it says 316. You know your ass belongs to Stone Cold.
Rocky's beeper just went off. Stone Cold is up for the kid of whip ass or Rocky Maivia.
Stone Cold Steve Austin, bro. All the people know who the real jackass is.
Well, this is a first for good old JR. I have never seen anybody grab a pickup truck into the arena and The Rock doesn't like it. This is unbelievable. And Austin wants The Rock.
It ain't a race thing, it ain't a color thing, it's a me kicking your ass thing, and can't nobody stop.
These guys want each other bad. Oh, what a matchup on pay-per-view it's going to be.
All right, so here we are. That brings us now to the WWF Intercontinental Championship match. Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Rock. This match is happening at the 2-hour, 3-minute mark. And it just starts off like the name of our episode, Rocky Sucks. Rocky Sucks. So the crowd is pumped for this. It's a Massachusetts crowd loving Stone Cold Steve Austin and jumping on that Rocky Sucks bandwagon, just giving them the business. So it's finally time, as The Rock says, it's finally time to defend the Intercontinental Championship.
He's oozing confidence.
Yep. And it's funny because he's been saying, it's a non-title.
Yeah.
Now it's time to defend the IC title.
Yep.
Now, I had my own little thing that I wrote up there. You check that out in the notes?
Oh, yeah. Your missed opportunity here? Yeah. What they could have done? Yeah, this is actually good.
So, what I thought they should do, which I thought would have been funny, and I was watching it, going through the Raws, I was thinking, maybe they do this. I have to keep watching to see. And then they didn't. So, okay, I forgot what happened. But what they could have done, I thought it would have been really cool, is to have The Rock. He's been saying it for a couple weeks. This is a non-title match. So usually when they do stuff multiple weeks, it's going to lead to something. Right? So they could have been building to the pay-per-view with this is a non-title match. And then when we get to the ring here, you'd have the Rock say, this is a non-title match. Because at this point, he thinks he's the IC champ. He's so pompous and confident in himself, he thinks that he's the actual champ. So he's going to say, this is on The Rock's terms. This is going to be a non-title match. And then Austin could kind of smirk at him and be like, Okay, cool. I agree. It's a non-title match. And The Rock's like, all right. And then the match starts. And then somehow maybe The Rock would pull off a win. And then Austin would just walk out with the belt. And The Rock would be like, what? He'd be like, it's a non-title match. It's a non-title match. You weren't the champ. Austin's the champ. You pinned him. You wanted it to be a non-title match. You don't win the title. Austin keeps the belt. That's one thing I was thinking would be a good way to go with that.
I think it is too. I think that was good. Good analysis by you right there.
Good writing, good booking. I don't know. Then he go with it, but it worked anyway. Obviously, they don't need Mike Prue.
Sorry, sucker.
I applied to WWF and WWE like so many times in my life.
Yeah, I remember you were on like a little run where it was every year.
Every year. Yep. Never heard back. Nothing. Not that I had like a writing background or anything like that, but I was just putting in for it. See if we do anything. I don't know what would happen if they actually wanted to interview me. Like, oh shit.
Like, I didn't really have a plan.
Yeah, I don't really want to move to Connecticut.
Just getting offered an interview is good enough.
Right. So there's that. Austin comes out. He's coming out to his match. He brings out the truck. In the last episode of Raw, he had the truck a little back in the audience. But this time he's going to drive right up to the entrance. He's going to bring it to the ring. And he's just going to come out, guns blazing. He's going to attack. And he just goes right after The Rock. Nation's going to come in. They're going to attack before the match. So we get a lot of hoopla, a lot of bullshit going on, basically, before this match officially starts. And I think it goes back to Austin's really not ready to have a match. So they need to kind of kill time around this so that the actual match in ring is shorter. So do some stuff before. What happened at the Survivor Series? It was Owen Hart match. It's not fully ready to go yet. But we got some good stuff in this. This opening part of the match, or prior to the match. You have D'Lo get hip tossed. He gets hip tossed onto the windshield. And just smashes.
Yeah, I think it caves right in.
Yep. D'Lo takes some damn good bumps. He's been taking those stunners, and hey, what do you say? Give him another stunner. He goes on the top cab, and just gives him a stunner right on the roof of that truck, and makes a big dent in that also. Then the bell finally rings, and we don't get a lot of great action really in this match. You get some punching back and forth. We got the classic Dez press from near. Austin gets thrown out of the ring. Farouk and numbered. He doesn't have anybody on his side. He's up against this gang, this nation, and Farouk and Kama are attempting to hit him with a chair. But what happens is Kama he's going to hit Farouk. Taking off his vest. He wears the vest the whole match. Which probably just goes to show how short the actual match was. Is that he didn't even get his
he doesn't even get his ring attire, his entrance attire still on.
Right.
I think he still has his chain on too, right? The chain doesn't make it off.
Nope. So JR is going to say it perfectly. He said, "This hasn't been a wrestling match." So it's been 4-on-1. And Austin just won't quit. So even though he's pointing out it's not really a wrestling match, he is pointing out that Austin is being teamed up against, but he's not going to quit because he's the man.
Yep.
So Austin's going to get scoop slam, and The Rock's going to do what would become the people's elbow. And you brought it up last week that he started to do this. Mm-hmm. So we're going to see it here, but Austin's going to kick out of it. So now things started to slow down at this point, so that probably means that now that things have settled down, there's no more interference spots. Things are cooled down, so lead to the end here is what I would say is happening. So The Rock's going to attempt another people's elbow. He's going to take off the elbow pad then he misses. So Austin's going to get him in the corner. He starts stomping a mud hole in him. And Jim Ross is going to say, he's opened up a can of whoop ass on The Rock. That's not my Jim Ross impression.
That's not a good one.
He's opening up a can of whoop ass.
Yeah. Hibbity, ha.
Go back to school.
You gotta go back to school. I don't know. I don't go Jim Ross either.
He played football in North Texas University.
That's just
The mean green.
He says Papa. He's one of those people.
Papa.
Yeah.
Yeah, Paul.
Paul. Hey, Paul.
Paul.
People still say that? Are there still people that call it?
In the South.
Yeah,
Paul and Mama.
They still use Paul. Hey, Paul.
Yeah.
You know
Paul.
what I think of? I think of Simple Jack from Tropic Thunder. You know what I'm talking about? Our listeners gotta know that music. Gotta know that that character. Oh, Paul, I can't go. Like that's just, I love that. That character's wrongly funny. All right.
All right. So can of whoop ass is opened on The Rock. The Rock is about to take a stunner, but Kama is going to distract Austin. So Austin's at the ropes with Kama, and he feels somebody creeping up behind him. So Austin doesn't even look; he just gives the stunner. But it wasn't The Rock; it was the referee. So the referee is down. Camera angle did suck. We didn't even get to see much of the stunner because the camera
they try to
was
come
in the
back,
wrong spot.
but they don't do a very good job at it.
Yeah, it's too late. You see that it happened, but just barely saw it. So The Rock now is going to take brass knuckles out at this point. Austin's going to turn around just in time. He's going to block the punch. Boom, hits a stunner right on time. Second referee comes down, makes the 3 count. Now the thing is, how come sometimes a referee will come down and then other times it doesn't happen? You know, it needs to be consistent.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. It's just like, whichever way the wind blows.
Right. So Austin retains the IC title, but it's like he won the belt.
Yeah,
because he was against.
Yeah,
he was against all odds. He wasn't in possession of the belt. The Rock came down with the belt wearing it, saying he's the people's champ, and now he got the belt back. So it's as if he won the title again. In a sense, he did win it back. He's reunited with his belt. Stone Cold, he fought the entire nation. That's what he did. JR just says there. So I thought it was very cool, you know, standing on the truck. He's giving double birds. He's got his belt back, you know. And JR definitely is going to try to set up the next night on Raw, which we'll talk about next week. JR mentions that the stunner to the ref is pretty controversial and possibly maybe should have been DQ'd for it. It's like, all right, so I get it. Maybe he's DQ'd, but that doesn't really change anything because he's the champ. So he gets disqualified. He doesn't lose the
champ.
belt.
Yeah, exactly. I do like their attempt, though, at trying to at least address it, you know?
Right. You know, and like I said, we'll talk about it next week, but I'll just mention it here. He's going to get in trouble doing that. He's going to get in trouble by Vince McMahon next week doing that. So we'll talk about more of the details next week for giving their a stunner and also make me endangered. So there was that. So that's a little preview for next week. Okay, what do you give this skull rating here?
2.5 skulls.
Yeah, that's what I did. 2.5 skulls. You know, not just based on the match, of course. I thought, you know, we got to include the entire segment. Now, I even like to include the build-up to a match, too, as being part of a rating of a match. You know, just my personal belief.
I don't. But the stuff that happened before the match, because technically the match doesn't start right off the clip.
Yeah.
So I did include that. So basically from, like, whatever happens on the pay-per-view onward is what I'll grade a match on.
Yeah. I'm not saying that my ratings have been based on anything like that, but I like to think about all the things that have been building up to it, because that leads to emotion and storytelling of the match. So if you don't have any of that, then that's one aspect of the match that doesn't mean anything. If there's no story, then you can't rate it based on the storytelling.
Yeah, I'll take it into consideration if
there's no story.
If I'm on the fence about like a score, say a half skull. If I want to give it the extra half or not, then I'll use that as almost like a tiebreaker. But it doesn't really have much weighting on it.
Right. Exactly. There's not much weight to it in mine.
Yeah.
But I like to consider it. So in this case, I thought it was good storytelling this night. and also building up to it, of course. I think they pretty flawless on this build. I think it's one of the better short feuds, short build-ups. It's only a few weeks, and they get to this point already. It's not like the Hart Foundation that went on for months and months and months, and that was really good. But this was really good, and it was a lot shorter, a lot quick. It's going to go on for a couple more weeks too after this. As I said, we'll talk about it next week. But I thought it was a lot of fun action. Wrestling great, of course, because Austin's injured, and the best is yet to come with the two of them. My final thought on that.
No, I agree. And then, my final thought, just on a side note on the pay-per-view overall, Mark Henry's actually in the crowd. He has an interview with Michael Cole.
Yep.
So
he's back.
He
had been injured.
Yep.
He was with the WWF back in '96. Covered maybe some little things with him early in our
we had mentioned him. Yep.
Yeah. So now he's off from his injury and he's going to be back. So he's definitely going to play into some of these storylines. 1988 for sure. So we'll be talking about him in the side note sections. So let's now go to house show run. A decent amount of house show. So let me just run through that here in our last segment, the bottom line. On November 15th, Madison Square Garden, you have Undertaker and Austin teaming up against HBK and Triple H. Undertaker and Austin defeat them. And this is actually on the network. So you could watch this match. This is a Hidden Gems match. So go to WWE Network, Hidden Gems section, and you'll find this match from November 15th. There, I watched it. It's kind of shitty. Just because just because the camera, it's not produced like Raw. Like someone's got a hand camera, and that's what they're filming it with. So it's kind of choppy. The camera angles aren't perfect. They don't catch everything right on time. It's not even like a hard camera. It's just somebody ringside recording, or somebody up higher a little bit zooming in. So not really that good. But if you want to just take a look at something rare, take a look at that. It's on the network. November 22nd, Greensboro, North Carolina. Austin's going to come out and stun The Rock during a match with Dude Love. November 23rd, Hampton, Virginia. He does the same thing. Gives The Rock a stunner. November 25th, he does a dark match at a Raw taping. It's Dude Love and Austin. They defeat LOD. And they defeat The Rock and Farouk. So it was a three-way match. 11/28, Cleveland, Ohio. Austin and LOD team together beat The Nation, Rock, Farouk, and Kama. November 29th in Boston, Massachusetts, the same thing. Austin and LOD defeat The Nation. And then on the night before, in Your House Degeneration X, before they go to Springfield, they made a stop in Providence, Rhode Island on December 6th. And Austin defeated Triple H in the main event. JV, any final thoughts for this week?
No final thoughts, but other than things are going to get really, really fun. It just started this week, and it just gets so much better from here. That's what's nice.
I mean, there's ups and downs, I think. There's a lot of good stuff, but there's a lot of wacky shit going on, too. Not that there wasn't any wacky shit, but we're going to get some crazy Stone Cold stuff to come.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, the first half of 97, we got a lot of really good Austin matches. We are going to actually get some good matches, too. So, yeah, it's a mixed bag. It's some good stuff and some not so good stuff. Ups and downs of the careers, and that's why we're here to talk about it. So, definitely interested in checking out 1998 in the upcoming weeks, especially when we get to the Rumble, we get to WrestleMania, we get to these matches with Dude Love. So, yeah, definitely a bunch of good shit to come soon, very soon. So next week, we're going to wrap up 1997. It's going to be December 97. Okay, there is no pay-per-view because we just covered the pay-per-view from December. So we're just going to cover December. That's it. So we're covering Austin throughout December. So we're going to have some Santa Claus appearances. We're going to have more Rock in Austin. We're going to have some funny stuff to check out. next week. And that episode is going to be called The People's Chant, because the IC title picture with Austin and The Rock is not done quite yet. So we'll talk about that next week on episode 18. That'll be next Wednesday, of course. I'd like to give a couple shout-outs to our brother podcast here. We got Talking Taker. Talking Taker digs up the curves of The Undertaker. I'm going to say Stone Cold Steve Austin. They're digging up the career of The Undertaker on a week-to-week basis. And next week, they're taking a little break from their chronological. Okay, they would be covering July 2001, the Invasion pay-per-view, but they're going to take a little break, and they're going to do something a little different next week. They're going to go back in time. They're going to go before The Undertaker, and they're going to cover WCW Mean Mark Callis, and they're going to focus on the build-up to his match with Lex Luger for the U.S. Championship. So check out something a little different, a little way back from Mean Mark in WCW with Talking Taker. Also like to shout out and give a special book in the territory last week and this week, and actually the last few weeks, they've been promoting us on their show. So thanks for that, guys. And listeners out there should definitely check out Book in the Territory, Unprofessional Podcast. Even if you're not into the content of Saturday Night and Smoky Mountain Wrestling, if you just listen to it, they'll draw you in and they'll be making you laugh, and you won't even care about any of the wrestling. So you might actually start to be interested in the wrestling just because of all the funny shit they have to say about it. So check out Book in the Territory, the Unprofessional Wrestling Podcast, this week on the WCW Saturday Night episode, which they release on Thursday nights. They'll be covering October 3rd, 1987. On their Sunday release is the Smoky Mountain Show, covering episode 126 from June 25th, 1994. You can find us, Mike Crew, JV, on Twitter at MPRU83 and John Van Damage. And you can find our show on Twitter at Bottom Line Cast. Also on Facebook at Bottom Line Cast. Thank you guys for listening so much. You guys have been very supportive. We actually had a lot of spike in our listeners in the past couple weeks. At episode 1, we had about 40 people in the past week listen to it. It's like, holy shit. So thanks, guys.
Thank you for that.
Yeah. So those of you that maybe started out episode 1, maybe you're not hearing us thank you now at the time of this recording. Maybe it's 3 months later. But thank you. I hope you kept listening and enjoyed the show. Thank you for all our supporters that have been following along right from the start. We appreciate it very much. So thank you guys. Have a great week. So long.